Welcome to Women of Color STEAM Conference. 28 years. This is 2023, and we are going strong. And I'm so excited. My name is Marcia Jews, and I'll be your host for the next couple of days with these interviews. But I'm very excited that we have Sandra Barton, who is an award winner, and she has worked at the Boeing Company for 22 years and currently serves as a software quality engineer for domestic and international military customers. Prior to that, she worked for 10 years at Verizon Communications, formerly Bell Atlantic, as a functional architect and software developer and tester. Recently, she received the Black Engineer of the Year Award, Modern Day Technology Leader, and she earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Information Systems from Hampton University and a Master's of Science degree in Information Systems from Drexel University. Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
So please tell us all about this award that you won and why it's so important to you.
So I got the Technology All-Star Award, and it's very important because I've spent decades in this industry, and all of my hard work is being recognized, and I just love the fact that I have young people in my life, and they're able to see my accolades, as well as to know that there's someone that looks like them who is in this industry and performing and being acknowledged.
And that's huge. You know, if you can't see it, you can't believe it if you don't know anything about it. So looking at yourself, your younger self, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Wow. So initially I wanted to be a systems analyst, and then I realized that there was no people interaction, and I really wanted to interact with people. And a lot of times in the computer industry, you don't have that personable interaction. So I changed my major, and I decided to go into computer information systems, which kind of bridges the gap between the users and the customer. So then when I got my master's, I saw another program that allowed me to enhance that information. So I was able to speak with suppliers and customers and the users, as well as the actual developers and testers of the environment.
Okay, so while I'm at a technology conference, I'm not that tech girl. What does that information systems mean? How do you explain that department of experience and development?
So information systems is just a matter of how you manage your information. So you want to make sure that as the tester, as the developer, as the company producing the software, that you're able to meet your customers' needs, meet their requirements. And a lot of times you'll find after interacting with the customer that they don't really know what they need. So that's why it's important in my field that I'm able to speak their language as well as speak the language of the actual people that are writing the code.
So as a young girl growing up, and so you're in school, you were doing math, and what other courses were you taking? Because it takes a lot of, this is not for the faint of heart. Right?
It definitely is not. So I come from an engineering family. I have brothers who are engineers and nephews engineer. My father, unfortunately, he wasn't able to go to college, but he had that math brain, so he passed that on to us. But I was in an area, I went to an all-girls Catholic high school in Philadelphia, and they didn't offer any computer courses. So I spoke with my counselor, and she found courses for me to take outside of my high school. So I've just always been one to forge ahead and to find what I needed to actually help me perform what I wanted to do.
Girl, that's powerful. No, really, that is really powerful that you took it upon yourself. So let's talk about what being a self-starter means.
So I have 4 older brothers, and I was the youngest girl, and I was always in their way. So they would do things that I couldn't do. So they would sit at the table and they would do their homework. So they would start writing in cursive. I was about 4 or 5 years old. I taught myself how to read and write in cursive so I could see what notes they were passing. So I've always enjoyed a challenge. I'm quite competitive. So anytime I felt that there was something that someone told me I could not do, then that was my clue to go ahead and show them that you can do it. Yes.
And so when we look at being in elementary and matriculating, right? What are some of the outside activities that young people can aspire to? We're seeing a lot of young people now that are graduating early and they're working, doing homeschooling. What are some other things that you see in the field that might be helpful for a family to help develop their young people into STEM?
That's a great question. I just was actually speaking with the person at the rental car company, and they asked that similar question when they saw I was here with STEM. So I would say at an early age, start young people with Legos. Legos are great. They help them to assess a problem and to implement and how to build, and usually someone who has an engineering brain, they want to take things apart and see how they work. So there's also like robotics competitions that they can join, and anything that the schools or community offer that deals with robotics or Legos, or there actually are like girls in code, anything they can take advantage of that, because unfortunately this is a male dominated field, so it's difficult for women to really enter into this field, let alone excel. So anytime they can start coding at a young age, that would be great too.
So, in looking at coding and math and the sciences, what are four things? I'm going to go to four. What are four things that you wish you could do over again as you look to the future of your career?
So as far as high school, I would take more math. I took what was required, but I didn't push myself to get more. So I struggled a little bit in undergrad. So that's one thing. Take more math classes at an earlier age. Also, take the SATs at an earlier age. Sixth grade is not too early. Seventh grade is not too early. I know it's intimidating, but the more comfortable that you get with standardized testing, the easier it will be when it matters later in your high school years, like 11th or 12th grade, when you're actually going to be taking it for college. Now, you said four, that was two. So another thing is, as far as, when you repeat that question, just want to...
Wondering about if we look at how you matriculate, what are some of the things that are outside that can help you develop your skill set to be in the STEM environment?
Right. So also, I would say in college, this isn't really STEM related, but being involved, networking, because you will find that later in life, someone who was not in your major, they may know someone else who was able to give you connects so that you can get into certain jobs or certain companies. And I'm just drawing a blank on the fourth thing, but
I think what's important here is that we need to make certain that our young people are doing all of the things that are necessary in their preparation.
Yes.
Sometimes when you jump in to the kindergarten, the first grade, and you don't have some of the items that you were talking about, some of those experiences, what should we be telling these young parents and older parents how they can work with some of their grandchildren and their children who are in pre or elementary school?
yes. So there are a lot of organizations that provide groups for them to join, workshops. Like I know I'm part of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and we offer what's called Delta Academy and Delta Gyms, where we're introducing these young people to different careers. There are other organizations within the Divine Nine who also provide groups for them to join so that they're able to get acclimated to other people, other networks, just introducing them to a lot. But there are a lot of community organizations also that provide different types of activities for them to do. Some of your schools have extracurricular activities, but definitely within the community, check with your library. Your library is a great source of information. A lot of people advertise at libraries. They put their flyer out there. So just reaching out, asking their teachers, what's out there outside of school that will help develop their young people.
So let's jump to the college students, right? And a lot of them will be here this weekend, and they're going to be seeing people like Boeing and some of the other corporations. What should they be saying to some of those people in those booths?
So definitely, hopefully they have received the agenda of who's going to be there. Learn a little bit about what the company is offering, and then go to their careers website and just look for internships. Look for co-ops that may be able to give you a job so that you're able to see what that industry is really like, so that after you graduate, you'll have some experience and you're able to have a head start.
And that's huge. Oh my goodness, Sandra Barton, it's been a short time, but we learned a lot. And those are what I call little nuggets that people will be able to put in their case as they move through and matriculate through life. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on your award, and I hope to see you throughout the weekend. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marcia Jews, and stand by because we have another interview coming up shortly.